such that we haven't seen really.
Setting up to drop tremendous amounts of snow through the middle Atlantic into the Northeast. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Channel. I'm Mike Seidel from Atlanta. We have the latest on this storm, and if you're watching from D.C. or Baltimore, you know that the snow has really been adding up over the past couple of hours, and even down south it's been snowing fairly hard during the afternoon on Saturdays. We'll be up north, and we've had it sticking on the roadways in Roanoke. Officially now, almost a foot of snow, and this is our highest total we've found from a reporting station, like a major airport or a significant city. We've had higher amounts certainly in mountainous locations and from some observers. As you go down the list, Kentucky doing fairly well, Lexington 8, Louisville you've picked up 5 to 6, Asheville 6 so far, and Washington has picked up 3 inches in a couple of hours. Most of the airports in the D.C. area, Andrews Air Force Base, Dulles, and down at Quantico, all reporting 2 to 3 inches, and it's snowing now moderately to heavy. Take a look at the snowfall history since Friday, and you can see what I was talking about the heavier totals, especially in eastern areas of Kentucky and through the mountainous areas, up around Beech Mountain in North Carolina, around the Boone area. You get into the higher elevations of southwestern Virginia, and easily 12, in some spots 18 inches already, and it's still snowing hard, and the storm is still down here. So just imagine it's got to track all the way up off Cape Hatteras. It's going to take another day or so. In fact, our computer models, even by Monday morning, put the storm right about here. So it's going to be a while, and some of these places, like those of you in D.C. and Baltimore, are going to see snow hour on and for nonstop basically until sometime early Monday morning. Here's our low now developing south of Atlanta. The warm air is getting forced up and over the cold air, and that's the perfect setup for heavy snowfall. Unfortunately, in parts of North Carolina and South Carolina, where temperatures in the clouds are already above freezing, we're getting freezing rain and sleet. From Greenville, Spartanburg, Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, checking your ob about an hour ago, heavy freezing rain and heavy sleet. I have never seen that kind of an observation. Just incredible amounts of precipitation falling and freezing on contact. Roadways, bridges, overpasses, just a virtual nightmare. As we've been telling you all along, you need to stay home until the storm gets out of the way. Fortunately, to the north where it's snowing, it's a little easier to get around because at least you can get some traction on snow, but it's hard to do that when you've got a sheet of ice out there. It's like a skating rink. Now the jet stream is dipping down, bringing up all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see the bright colors there in the Gulf. That indicates the showers and thunderstorms which will be crossing over Florida, continuing tonight and at least the first part of Sunday. Snow, there's your rain snow line, Greenville, Spartanburg, as I mentioned, sleet and freezing rain, but Greensboro up to Richmond, a lot of snow around there, and the snow's continuing now to press towards Philadelphia. It's going to be around lunchtime tomorrow, or maybe late morning before we see any snow taking over in New York City. There's the rain now cruising across Florida. Don't be surprised if you don't see some lightning or hear some thunder tonight. The cold front is back here. We've had some snow and sleet around Birmingham, an inch of snow in Huntsville in northern Alabama. Once that front passes on through, the rain will move off. The cold air will move in. Highs in Miami and Fort Lauderdale on Monday only in the mid to the upper 50s and a lot of wind. So it's going to be pretty chilly again in Florida, much like it was right after Christmas. Look at the moisture feeding right up into this cold air. Temperatures right now in Washington over to Salisbury and Richmond only in the teens. So it's a very fine powdery snow which accumulates quicker. And of course the ground is cold. It's been below freezing all day, so it's really sticking on the ground. Salisbury over to Baltimore and D.C., where you see the, by the way, the darker colors, that indicates the heavier snow bands, 4 or 5 inches around Norfolk. We don't know how much is accumulated in Richmond because they haven't told us. They have not reported a snowfall total. So if you're watching, get it up there on the airways code and we'll get it up to the viewers. But no doubt 5 or 6 inches around the Richmond area. Everything is pulling to